So, today we're diving into a really personal and philosophical journey. It's all based on one person's reflections after meditating for 47 years. We're going to explore this idea that maybe, just maybe, all the answers we're looking for out there are actually hidden right inside us. And it all kicks off with a simple, kind of baffling question.
Right? The whole thing starts with this really powerful paradox. How can a fish drown in water? I mean, it's a question that really makes you stop and think. How can we, as people, feel so lost, so disconnected, when we're literally surrounded by the very stuff of life? It points to this huge disconnect between how we feel inside and the world outside.
And this just illustrates that disconnect perfectly. We chase after things, like that dream yellow Ferrari, thinking this is it, this will make me happy forever. But, as the author points out, even that dream car eventually needs an oil change, then new brakes, then a whole new transmission. That initial thrill just fades, and it becomes another source of stress. So it leads to the big question. If the stuff we buy can't bring lasting joy, where do we find it? Well, the answer proposed isn't about rejecting the world or anything like that. It's about finding a totally different kind of anchor. It's about discovering this point of absolute stillness that exists inside every one of us, no matter how chaotic life gets on the outside.
And here's the author's definition of meditation, and honestly, it's just beautifully simple. It cuts through all the complicated stuff you might have heard. It's not about emptying your mind, it's about focusing it. Perfect concentration on a perfect point. That's the entire practice, right there in a nutshell.
And actually doing it, it's incredibly straightforward. You close your eyes, you focus on your breath, and you relax. But the real key, the secret sauce, is step 5. When thoughts come, don't struggle. See, the goal isn't to fight your own mind. It's just to gently, patiently guide it back to that one single point of focus.
And when you do this is the result. This is what it means to be in the center of the hurricane. The winds of life, stress, change, all the challenges, they're always going to be blowing. But by practicing this simple focus, you can tap into what the author calls your true state, a place of joy and bliss that's always, always there, just waiting for you to find it.
Okay, but this whole thing, it's not just some relaxation technique. No, the author frames it as something way, way bigger. It's part of this universal human quest for meaning that mystics and sages have been on for thousands of years.
And what's so cool here is the contrast, right? On one hand, you have modern humanity. We're looking outward, to the stars, to the tiniest atoms, searching for answers about who we are. But the wise person, the mystic, they turn their attention inward, searching for what the source calls a hidden treasure right inside their own heart.
And that treasure, that inner kingdom, it's not exclusive. It's not for a select few. As this quote puts it so beautifully, it's a universal birthright. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, or what you've done in your life. That door to go back home, it's open for every single one of us.
So what's really fascinating is that this idea of an inner truth, it's not just from one place. You see it echoing across different cultures, different religions, and, believe it or not, it even pops up in the world of science.
And to really hammer this home, the author brings up that classic story of the blind men and the elephant. Each one touches a different part, the ear, the leg, the tusk, and is totally convinced they understand the whole thing. The point is, maybe our religions and our belief systems are kind of like that. Each one holds a piece of a much larger truth, but none of them holds the whole puzzle. Okay, this is where it gets really, really interesting. Just look at the patterns here, across completely different ways of seeing the world. You've got the force, call it God, Nirvana, Brahma, or if you're a scientist, just energy. You've got the light, talked about in scripture, or quantified as E=mc². You've got the word, logos, the Tao, or what science might call frequency. And the place, an inner kingdom, or a quantum field. And get this, there's a fascinating piece of evidence hidden in plain sight, in the very word we use for everything, universe. You can break it down, uni, meaning one, and verso, meaning word. The universe is literally one word, or you could even say one song. It connects right back to that idea of a single unifying vibration that all these traditions are pointing to. So what happens when these ancient mystical ideas slam right into modern science? Well, you get a convergence that is it's mind-bending. It kind of suggests that the mystics might have been tapping into the secrets of the cosmos all along.
Okay, so for this next one, I really want you to think about this question. Read the quote that's about to come up and just ask yourself, is this ancient poetry or is this cutting-edge quantum physics?
So who said that? A scientist? Nope.
That's from Kabir, a mystic from way back in the 15th century. But it sounds exactly like something out of quantum physics, right? Like a description of a hologram, where the whole is contained in every single part. The idea that the entire universe could exist inside of us, it's not just a poetic thought.
And it turns out there's actually a modern scientific theory that's exploring this exact idea. It's called panpsychism, and basically it proposes that consciousness isn't something our brains make, but something the universe is. Like gravity or electromagnetism, consciousness could be a fundamental property of reality itself.
And this idea gets even wilder when you look at the work of biologist Bruce Lipton. He actually discovered that our cells have these literal protein antennas on their surfaces that read signals from the environment. So here's Lipton's mind-bending theory. What if those antennas are also tuned to a universal broadcast of consciousness from the quantum field? So in this model, your body isn't creating you, it's more like a biological receiver perfectly tuned to your unique frequency.
So after this whole journey, through wanting things, through meditation, through ancient truths and modern science, we land on this one single, staggering conclusion. This central idea that ties it all together. You are not just in the universe, you are the universe, experiencing itself. Just think about that for a second.
And so that's where we land. If the mystics and some of these modern scientists are right, then the greatest journey of discovery isn't to the farthest star. It's to the quiet center inside yourself. This explainer, really, it isn't just giving information. It's an invitation. The door to the universe is right there. The only question left is, are you ready to open it?